when I count in just a second here. Whenever
That's
you're
okay.
ready.
I'm ready when you ready.
All right, give me 1 second. I need
Take
to
your time, man.
stop this.
And we ahead of schedule, so take your time. So I'm gonna go get Solo in right now. I'm gonna call him as soon as we start shooting.
There we go. Don't turn the damn display off. All right, there we go.
And what I want to do, like, even though it's virtual, what I want to try to do is still use the branding on the mic so that they'll collab. So I'm gonna actually move this to the other side. Turn this like this. There we go. All right.
What's
That's
your
how
name, bro, again?
TJ.
TJ. I got you, TJ. What's happening with you, fam?
What's good with you, man?
All right.
We've been in 6 degrees of separation for probably about 6 years.
6 degrees of which is nobody. Okay.
Man, for real.
Okay.
For real.
All right. We ready?
Yeah, I'm ready when y'all ready.
All right. 3, 2.
So today on Blunt Talk, Bridging the Gap, we're sitting down with a force in Austin culture, an artist, a builder, a stage raiser, and a voice for creatives in the city, Jay Soldier.
Yes,
From
sir.
establishing platforms for the local talent to shaping the sound and energy of Austin's music scene, his grind and impact have earned him his own official day in the city, December 11th, Jay Soldier Day. This man is proof that leadership in the arts goes beyond the stage. Let's get into it. Welcome.
Yes, sir.
So let's start at the beginning. What first pulled you into music, and when did you realize this wasn't just talent, but a calling?
I think what pulled me into music for real was just being around like my relatives. My sister could freestyle like a motherfucker. So like my sister would freestyle while we was cleaning up, growing up in Austin, just my mom allowing me to just be a part of so many different experiences, going to relay weekend, going to jump on it, you know what I mean? You know, doing that is such like as a kid, you feel
Yeah.
me, and seeing um artists like Lil Bow Wow at that age, just man, it was like shit, nigga, I want to rap. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't even nothing else in my head that I felt like I really just in my heart, like I was like, man, I fell in love with, I played football and stuff like that too. Like I did sports, but the music was always the first love for sure. So like I feel like I knew it was like destined for me, doing my like just my first attempt at rap, and it was trash,
Yeah, beginning.
but it was just like a genuine attempt, and it
Yeah.
was just like, yo, I can do something like this if it got my people live and they seeing something, then
Yeah.
if it is something as it feed us all, you know what I'm saying, for sure.
No, that makes sense. So, what gap in the Austin hip hop music scene did you feel needed to be filled when you launched For Life Forever Entertainment?
Yeah, for Life Forever Entertainment, man, is an umbrella that pretty much houses my production companies, the Smokeout ATX, the Pre-Roll ATX, and Life Forever Entertainment. Pretty much embodies what you do today determines your tomorrow. How do you want to be remembered? Yeah, we want to be remembered for life forever, and that is a everything that we do as a enterprise or as an entertainment umbrella. We set our best foot forward out to make everlasting opportunities arise, not just for the artists that are involved, but for the people that touch the experiences themselves as a product. We wanted to be like a everlasting impression,
Yeah.
and ultimately, we like Kobe, I think that was Kobe Bryant, like you play the game to change the game type vibes. That sounds
Yeah.
like something
Yeah.
Kobe would say. I don't want to misquote my nigga R.P. Kobe, but it was just like one of them things. Like I play the game to change it. I don't really, do anything less than putting my maximum effort into what I'm passionate about. I mean, when I saw my experience as an artist here in Austin and saw so many shortcomings as a creative and trying to figure out where is the ecosystem here, like
Yeah.
where is the thing that is taking a artist and driving them to a place in their careers that can expose them to the world. Like if you
Right.
look at places like Los Angeles, like New York, like these spaces have cultural things that these artists thrive in these ecosystems where people galvanize behind these artists.
Yeah.
And I think that Austin, for a while, like if you talk about the void, I think, Austin hasn't really had like a thing that we are all collectively willing to galvanize behind and say, hey, this is something we co-signing as a people. Like as a
Yeah.
people,
This is
this
our
is
thing, bro,
the
from our city.
we believe in this, whether
Yeah.
and of course, like it's something that we've got to see what it could look like with great artists like Quinn, the way the city got behind Quinn,
Yeah.
hell, it's been times the city then got behind me, and I think it's just what I'm getting at is that it takes something for the city to get behind you rather than them just being behind you because they know you from the city and they know you from the
That's
culture.
facts.
They know you from, hey, this is my brethren. I grew up with these people, or
Yeah.
I've been around these people. And there were people like, that are from Austin. So I don't want to like misspeak at all when I think about these things. I'm talking about just my experience and the things that
Right.
I've personally been able to see,
No, I would agree with
the
that. I would agree with that. I've grown up in Austin as well. I would say there's definitely lacking an ecosystem for artists to be able to thrive in the sense of like the other spaces in the other cities where everybody knows this is where you can go and find new talent on a consistent basis. This is
right,
where the local artists can come and express themselves, whether it's to become successful or just to have a place to like do their art. So
right.
I would agree with you on that. And what made you want to take on the leadership role to actually create these platforms? What made you want to transition outside of seeing the void? What allowed you to want to transition from just being an artist to taking on this leadership role?
Yeah, man. I think I think it was because respectfully, it wasn't a lot of leadership. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like it was a lot of people that was doing stuff, but they weren't trying to lead a
others.
yeah. It was very like this benefits me and me only. Like I could do things that look like they benefit us, but this really benefits me.
I heard OG Jinx on Barbershop Talk today. I don't know if you know Clarin or if y'all follow the podcast show, but he was talking about that earlier about how one of the reasons that Austin struggles to get exposure is that everybody only wants to provide their own stuff. Like they only want to share their own posts. If it's not their podcast and they're not sharing, it ain't like they sharing every podcast that everybody's doing in Austin. Austin
Right.
has that very selfish mindset. It goes beyond crab in a bucket. It's if it's not going to benefit me, then I don't want to have any part of it.
Yeah, and I think that that's even something that goes beyond posts. I think people take it as so they take it so personally because the internet is involved and they feel like this is a public forum when in reality you'd be surprised how much shit you just don't see because
Right,
it's not properly coded to be seen on the internet. Like
right.
there's a thing that people refer to as the algorithm and that shit is real. You know what
Yeah,
I
I was
mean?
about to say
So
that. Yeah,
it's like when we're only trying to get people familiar with something through one channel and we see Austin is very like respectfully like monkey see monkey do like niggas will see something in Austin and if that worked for him they gonna beat it over the head and try to make it work for them but
yeah,
they not realizing like this not gonna work for you the
yeah.
way it worked for
That's his
somebody else
lane.
because that's their own thing. And I
Right.
think that Austin gets caught into a tough cycle because what we see, since we lack some of that ecosystem that we say,
Yeah.
we don't see stars here.
Right.
So we look at stars that are already made, Houston, Dallas, these
Yeah.
people that are on the outskirts, and then we adopt culture from them without embracing what the fuck we already got here. Like I told you,
Right.
I was going to jump on it. I was going to, relay weekend. I was at, the
On the
the
east side of
the
the Millennium.
Juneteenth parade. My dad probably is the only black owned pest control company at the time, and Andy Howard's Pest Control. My dad used to drive in the Juneteenth parade yearly, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? As a black owned pest control company, so it's
Yeah.
like to be here in Austin and to kind of like go through the things that I've seen and see the things to this perspective that I've seen it at. Like it wasn't really it wasn't really like it was like, damn, nobody want to take the wheel. Like going back to your leadership thing, why take the role? It's like, shit, wasn't nobody trying to drive it. I'm trying to drive it. I wanna be
I do it.
yeah. I definitely and I believe in myself. I believe in what I feel like I can bring to the table for the music scene here in Austin, not just in hip hop, but in all cultures for sure.
I like that. So now we talked about the way you saw the music scene that caused you to get into the leadership role and to bring out these platforms like the pre-roll and the smoke out. Now, what have you seen about Austin's community since doing these shows? What have you seen about Austin? What has it taught you about the culture and the creative energy that exists here?
Yeah, I think when you make something that people want to see, you find out how many people are really here. When you do things that people really truly want to be involved in and be involved with, you find you find tribes here that you never knew existed. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And I think that um artists are wanting genuine opportunities. Artists don't want to feel, lied to. They don't want to feel like they are being used as a body ornament in your club. They want to feel
Mm.
like an artist. Like rap
Right.
artists want to feel like artists, bro. And it's like we can't. I've been blessed enough as an artist to be multidimensional enough to perform at ACL and do events at these different sectors of Austin that has that to offer.
Yeah.
And the way that they make you feel like an artist is just, it's night and day. A
Yeah.
nigga who's going through the regular casual market here out here in Austin, whether I'm just gigging on 6th Street, he'll never experience what that shit will be like. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But I can't make what the ceiling is to somebody else who ain't never seen the ceiling that I seen. You feel
Right.
me? My job is to show you that there is a higher ceiling. Like I want to show you that, hey, it's so much more out here than this lens that you feel like you experiencing out here, coming from a nigga that's born and raised here.
Right.
Like was a part of early gentrification, moving from the east side to Pflugerville, like very early, bro. Like,
Yeah.
like seeing it and seeing the money that fluctuates through the city of Austin. Like it's a lot of shit that go on out here that I feel like people just you know, I don't want to say that they not exposed to it because it's hiding in plain sight, but it's more
Right.
so like who are we gonna trust enough to give us this information, and it's like, why not trust a nigga like me who
Why not
is
trust one of our own?
literally I'm putting my foot in it as an artist myself, and I want to see you thrive. You're like Jay-Z said, Hov did that, so hopefully you won't have to go through that. Like that's the
Mm.
type of shit I'm on, you know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
bumping my head for the city for real.
So I like that. So transitioning a little bit then. So let's talk a little bit more about you personally. When did you first release your first project? When was your first release?
Yeah, I say like my first official release that I even count was in high school. I was
Okay.
probably in about 11th grade, and that was my first time really making my first all original body of work with an artist. His name, he go by Zader. At the time, his real name is Xavier. He might have changed his name, but shout out to Zader, man. We made a mixtape called 24/7, and at the time we was making music. It was during the Dat Piff era, and
Mm.
putting out a project during that time and understanding marketing at that time, having a mixtape go viral on a release,
Yeah.
that was like my first, like, oh, okay, yeah, nah, I'm here. You know what I
What did
mean?
that moment mean for you when you released it and then went viral? What was that moment like?
Man, it was crazy. Because I wasn't expecting it. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't expecting the for it to be received. So here is the scoop on that. On
Okay.
that piff, if anybody has uploaded on that piff, it is very common that you can pay to be on release this week, right? Like, hey, these are you can pay to be on that banner. Like, hey, these released this week. So at the time, my cousin and another buddy of mine was like, yo, Soldier, let's all go have, we'll pay so that way you can get on that release this week banner.
Mm.
And man, we dropped it that night, had it on the release this week banner, had a cool little ribbon on it, and we saw that motherfucker go crazy, crazy,
Mm.
crazy. And then not just like crazy in the essence of like, oh, you on the release this week. Then we see it drop to fire this week. Like Oh, that's a whole nother banner. You
Yeah,
feel me?
we had to pay for that one.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
one
facts,
you got
facts.
by working. Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting circulated, and we seeing with comments, we seeing people flood in. It's starting to get dubbed on YouTube and shit. Like people are
That's a unique experience, even right there in Austin. I very rarely hear teams coming together and be like, "Hey, let's put some bread behind the marketing side
yeah,
of the rap game, and let's see if we can see if these dollars are stretched, these numbers, see if we can't get you some to run it up this way."
yeah. Nah, and you got to think like this. My cousin, I'm talking about like this. My blood relative, like my dad, his dad, brothers. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like he the one he's somebody who's seen me, do all of this. You know what I mean? Like he
yeah,
the one who believed in me before anything. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So yeah, nah, it wasn't to I understand your perspective, like from the outside, that's an uncommon thing. But for
Yeah,
us,
even when it's family, you know what I mean. Even when it's family, a lot of times, especially in the music industry, right? You'll see this in a lot of other industries where people, kind of, business loans over here, a little bit of money over here to invest, or a little bit of support over here. Let me buy a plate, let me buy some shirts. But
yeah,
typically on the music scene, it's a lot rarer where people come together. They're not going to benefit from it. Let me just put some money behind it. But look where that's come to, because now you're about to get your own day.
facts.
December 11th, J Soldier Day. So
Crazy.
now, how does that feel? How does that honor feel?
Man, bro, it's really crazy, bro. Like, you know, um, I was kind of like letting it set in this week or just today for real. It's like, damn, it's December. December 11th. I'm finna have like my marking time. I just told you about what For Life Forever Entertainment was. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
like, this is like right on brand,
This is so
right on brand.
life for entertainment.
Yeah, facts, facts. So I'm part of history now. I feel like I got like a Hall of Fame jacket type shit. You know what I mean?
How do you balance that? How do you balance, building for the community as well as being an artist, right? You've got to invest some personal time into your personal projects, but at the same time, you can't leave this community that you built behind because,
Yeah,
you got people looking for it.
yeah, man. The balance is important. I was kind of mentioning to a buddy of mine, CJ. We was talking about that not too long ago, just about having that balance. And I'm a very like spiritual person. And I would say religious as well. I believe in God. I'm a Christian. Uh, and shit, nigga, I'm a father too. You know what I'm saying? So like being a parent, bro. Like I was just explaining to homie CJ, like bro, like having that balance of like I can't thrive in my work life if my personal life not in order. You know what I'm saying? Like it's important that me personally, like as Jalen, not Jay Soldier, like Jalen got to be good. You
Yeah.
feel me?
In
Like
order for Jay Soldier to even be, Jalen's got to be good.
yeah, nah. Jalen got to be taken care of 100%. Like I can't, like it because Jay Soldier and Jalen are the same thing. You know what I mean? Like it's Jay Soldier is a is a is a energy realm that I created, from how I approach life spiritually.
Right.
You know what I mean? And people even giving me a name like that. And me staying solid in okay, this is what I want to go by. You know what I mean? Like that matters. You know what I mean? Like how that balances who I am as Jalen and even that entity. Like they have to niggas be trying to thrive in the entity and don't be good personally, and that's how you get niggas on drugs and all kind of weird shit.
Right. Right. Niggas trying to cope
Out of
with,
there.
they coping with that double personality because they don't know how to make it one person.
You feel me? It's like I just be genuine. I just be who I am. It make the music thrive. It make this who I
Makes it
am.
all flow together. It all
Exactly.
work cohesively. When you think of legacy, when you think of what you're going to leave behind, what does that word legacy mean to you?
Um, it mean a lot to me. I got a daughter. Um, her experience on Earth. I remember a lot of some of my OGs that was in the streets was just like having them talk to me, and they used to be like, man, like some of my dreams growing up, man, I want, you know, after I pass, you know, my kids be straight, you know, my kids be taken care of, you know, everybody, you know, somebody be willing to look after my seed while I'm gone, you know what I'm saying? Like I remember getting told that by OGs as a kid, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And until I turned to an adult and understand, like, hey, yo, like, those things is it's cool to happen, but what your character is like is gonna be totally, you know, predicated on what that's gonna be, you
Right.
know. And you know, RP to my boy Prospect, man. I definitely want to dedicate this interview to him and dedicate, you know, this week to my boy Prospect, man. Shout out to young Prospect, my boy Zay. He passed away on right before Thanksgiving, you know, a day before
Condolences.
Thanksgiving. And he's somebody who's been on KZI before plenty of times. I'm sure y'all have either played his music before. And he's just a great spirit, man. And you know, I just want to, you know,
Family.
definitely dedicate this moment to him because, you know, all of this stuff that we doing, man, you know, as far as like you talking about leaving your legacy and just like how you leave a stain on people, you know, it's shit about who you are as a person, you know what I mean? And just like what's your impression as a person, you feel me? Like, you
Right.
know, that's why I thrive
What
to
are
be the
people gonna
person
say
I
about
am
you?
through the music, you feel me?
What are people gonna say about you when it's all said and done? So
Fact.
where can people follow you? Where support your work? How do they how do they stay tapped into what you're building next? Let the people know what you got coming up and how they can tap in.
Yeah, nah, for sure, man. Hey, it's going on December 11th. It's happening. J Soldier Day is special. You feel me? Tap in with me, www.jsoldier.com. You can shop and get the brand new album. I'm putting it out. It's on vinyl. I just dropped. Pre-orders is busting. You know what I'm saying? We moved hella pre-orders online just this over this weekend. It was a blessing. I'm super grateful. But www.jsoldier.com. The next guest I believe y'all got. My boy Sean Solo is on
Yes,
that
sir.
album. That's my motherfucking boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
My boy
yeah, we
Sean
do got it
Solo,
coming.
Solo Mike, Solo Dean is on that thing, man. That's my boy.
Yeah.
He on that joint. And he the only feature I got on there on the standard version. And shout out to Gio. She on the bonus records, man. Shout out to Maz. Shout out to my brother Kush with a C. You know what I'm saying? Follow me at official J Soldier, www.jsoldier.com. That's it.
Hey, well, you know, we definitely appreciate you having you here at KZI and WFPN over here on Blunt Talks. Appreciate you, man. And
Appreciate you too, TJ, for sure. Good meeting, man.
man, you already know, man. Like I said, you know, we've been within the same circle, within the same networks. I've always heard great things about what you've been doing on the music scene. So I'm glad I was the one that got to get interviewed.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate that.
You already know.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate you.
Solo, what's the damn deal, baby?
See you up there trying to do anything, man. You just trying to do a little something, man. I appreciate the invite, man.
And recording. There we go.